is Tiberius.
Go around the corner and then you can go. So the gimble's good for you.
I think this is better
To hold it like that.
than trying to hold it freehand. It's still gonna rattle.
Okay, stop.
Like even from this. I guess, you know, and then they haven't, but you know, and Alfred runs a bed and breakfast in Jerusalem, so like he deals with people like of all different people coming in. You know what? I stayed in this place last year.
You
This
did.
is a what is this?
A hostel?
It's like I don't know what you call these things. Like up here and yeah, like in Jerusalem, like past like few days, I've had to wear like long sleeves, especially at nighttime. I mean, it's gotten really chilly.
Maggie, go in front of me.
Yes. Yes. I am. Yes. Yeah. You guys will have no problem with Jerusalem. Yeah.
Shorts all the time.
Yeah. This is still warm, right?
Yeah, it's like 65 degrees.
The 65 is cold to me. Yeah, 65 is cold.
65 is sunbathing weather for us. Oh, wow.
North Carolina. Yeah, it's the south. It's right there. Yeah. And then like an hour away from the beach.
This is what I was hoping to see. We're just gonna walk together. I know. I know. I want to go here. What's this called? Let's see what's up. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, so cool. Look how they have. Oh, look, that's good. taste?
Yes.
Want to taste? Hold it. So you know where to hang out. We like. I just put it out.
Rolling.
Okay. So, I just need to debrief this day a little bit. Like, I wanted to get it on video. Okay, so just off the top of my head right now, we're driving back from Tiberius to Kadarim, and because we were in search, well, we took the girls, we took Derek to the bus station in Tiberius, which was an incredible experience because it's just like, you know, so foreign. There's just so much traffic and pedestrians, and they don't really care where you park on some level. And so, like, I was up on the sidewalk. I was just like a little, it was alright, but it was a little nerve-wracking. But then we thought, well, we'll try to find an ATM machine while we're here in the city, because we didn't want to do that tomorrow in Nazareth. So trying to find an ATM was a little difficult. And then after dark, on top of it, we went to almost at dark, we went to two different places, and one of them was in full Hebrew. We did see the Visa symbol, but it was full Hebrew, so I didn't understand, and we couldn't read the directions on it, and I wasn't about to put my card in a machine that I can't tell if I'm going to get it back, what button to push to get it back. Anyway, and then the other machine, which we started with, rejected our card, our Visa cards.
It had an English option,
right?
but then didn't take our card.
Which then we were like, uh-oh. But I think, so we're just not going to worry about that today, and this is it, right? Yeah. McDowell. We're not going to worry about the date today. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Because not every place you can use an American Express card or whatnot, and so you need shekels. But I think something I'm figuring out, like, we haven't eaten dinner yet, and what time is it? It's like it's almost 7 o'clock here, and we've only had one meal today. So we had a meal at like 10, something like that. Then we started to get going on our day. We went to a winery, Rimon Winery, up north in the northern Galilee, which was beautiful, and it was such a fun experience. But I'm slowly realizing that you can't be tourist and try to do normal activities at the same time, such as go to a grocery store or get gas or go find an ATM and do banking at the same. It just, like, I don't know, like, I can't, like, you do one or the other. So you get going on your day. Am I going the right space?
Yeah.
You get going on your day and you're touristing, but there's not, like, it's not really apparent everywhere where here's where you can sit down to eat, or here is where you get your, here's your banking place. You just don't go in and out real fast. You have to park, you have to walk places. I'm pulling over for this guy. He's on my tail.
Yeah.
Everybody drives on your tail here, on some level. I mean, I haven't had, it hasn't been horrible driving, actually. I personally just got done driving in Tiberius, which was pretty crazy, but it's not, it's okay, especially if you have a navigator. So either Isaac drives and I navigate, or he drives and I navigate. And look, but people I don't understand this. Okay, check this out. The speed limit is, look, I've got somebody on my tail already. I just pulled over. The speed limits are posted on the side. You're fine right there. So the speed limits are posted on the side of the road every once in a while, you'll see. So it's like 60 kilometers per hour or whatever. And the gauge in the rental car is that. But people are going at like 80 or 100. And so, so I'm like programmed to think if I go 5 miles over, I'm going to get a ticket. So, you know, everybody's passing you, and Isaac, when he's driving, he doesn't want to get rear-ended, so he goes with the flow. But I have this reservation in me that I shouldn't. And then you see these cop cars, the police cars, they've already got the lights spinning, and they're behind you, and I'm thinking they're going to pull me over. So I actually pulled over into a gas station today because I thought I was being pulled over, but they were just pulling over to go get something in the mini market. Look at this guy's on my tail. What do I do? I'm going 70 and a 60, and he's on my tail. So I'm sweating. Anyway, the cop, I guess the lights just run, and they just are on. And I don't know what they'll do if they want your attention. I guess they like put their hand out the window or honk or something, which everybody's honking anyway, so I don't quite get it. I don't understand why they don't turn the lights on when they want you to stop. I don't know. There's just a lot to debrief here, and I don't think Isaac and I have had the time to debrief. I mean, right now we're hungry, so it's like we're not going into town to eat. There's no way. I would rather like not eat. We have food at the cabin, so the girls are making us dinner. We'll get back and there'll be something to eat. But I don't know. How do you feel about this? I mean, how do you feel about this sort of subject here? I think you've got to like, I don't know how to do it. I wouldn't know how to tromp around and travel through Israel and still like go grocery shopping and go banking and do basic stuff. Like Hadassah broke her chacos. Okay, so her sandals, she has no sandals now. So I got to find sandals for her or get her chacos fixed, which means, I mean, you could be taking hours trying to figure out how to find a
shoe repair.
Yeah, a shoe repair, or try to find sandals. The way they shop, I mean, it's bizarre. It's not like you have this great big parking lot and you pull in and everybody, you funnel into this kind of plain building that has a big sign that says Target over it. I mean, this is like, you've got tiny little shops side by side, and you might have something you don't want your girls to go see on this side of the same building as a same shop where there might be like clothes and stuff, and then you've got, I mean, it's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense. To me. To them, it seems like they're fine. And it's like nighttime now in Tiberius, and there's girls, moms with kids, babies and stuff, just walking all over the place with strollers, and just tons of people, and just different kinds of groups of boys, guys, and then groups of Orthodox Jews that are sitting down talking, and then nightlife, and it's just kind of a huge mix of, and everybody seems cool with it. Except this white girl from Idaho. I don't know what to do with it.
Well, it's probably their home.
Oh.
It's their city. They live there.
They live there.
That's what you do. We're foreigners.
I know.
And we're just playing from out of town.
I know.
Also, so it would be the same in a strange city in the U.S. Except you can't read anything.
That's
here,
the hard
thing.
thing.
You have no idea what's what.
I wish I knew Hebrew, big time.
So that's kind of a big problem, but that's the way it goes. I think it could be the problem could be admitting how long it might take to do something, and so we can't just go out and run errands.
Right.
Like, we're doing it, dropping them off at the bus station, we'll be downtown, hey, we'll pop over to the bank and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's the one thing about the north in the, how did you say, not the Galilee, but the Galilee
Galil.
Galil.
That's how they do it. In
They say
Hebrew.
Galil. So one thing, there's roundabouts everywhere. So we've gone around and around and around a roundabout. I like them because then you
like
can kind of
roundabouts.
figure out, okay, where am I and which exit am I supposed to take? So
Okay, we'll stay
That's
on
Tel
topic.
Aviv.
We're trying to do too many things here, and I think that was what I was talking about, is trying to say,
is he going?
hey, as long as you have the right of way.
Okay.
As long as I'm doing this, I'll just pop over here and do
This
that.
one?
No, stay to the right, back the way we just came from,
Up there.
up to the top of the hill.
Okay. Is that like the kibbutz up there?
No.
Oh wait, so right here.
Yes.
Right here, and it's gonna take me that way.
Yes.
Welcome to Driving with Rebekah and Isaac
Yeah.
in
This just the key
Israel.
is just getting your.
Right here.
Yes.
It's. I'm sorry.
You got to trust the road, and you really got to trust your navigation and get it set up before you pull out of your parking spot and start moving.
Put your face in there so
And
they
have
can
the
see.
navigation. Well, this is the way anywhere is just have that navigation already running, and then you have to trust it. You know, you second guessed it today.
I
earlier,
did. I got us in
and
trouble.
went the wrong way because you're like, oh, I don't want to go up that hill. But
Okay,
anyway,
so now.
let me get back to the subject.
Okay.
And
We're
trying
on
to
the
do
fu-
too
we're on the
many
right one.
things at one time. And so say what your task is, and then complete your task, and then call it good, instead of trying to make a quick stop at a bank in
Yeah, you don't do quick stops.
because you
or
don't
anything.
know anything.
So
about
like we went.
town.
And I'll talk about this later probably, but we went shopping. So when we got here to the cabin in Kadarim, we didn't have any food. By the end of the day, we had to get groceries, and unfortunately, it was Erev Shabbat, but it was already the high Shabbat of Sukkot anyway when we got here. But so we actually went to an Arab market. I left the girls at the cabin, and Isaac and I went down to an Arab market, and it was a long process. You can't read stuff. You don't know what it says. You have to get help, and so we were in an Arab market getting food on Erev Shabbat at Bloom. It was like quite wild. But point being is today, I was debriefing today. Today, it had its moments of really hard, and it had its moments of beautiful.
Well, and there's a lot going on today. One of the things that's completely unavoidable on this trip is the fact that we're greenhorns.
Yeah.
I'm virtually ignorant when it comes to travel, because we're not
Right, we
travelers. We
no.
don't have any experience.
We lived in a teepee on the
To
side of
speak-
the mountain,
well,
for heaven's sakes. And we live in a cabin out in the woods. And
So
we
somebody
don't
who's already knows how to travel has a lot of these things covered already.
Right.
But we are having to figure it all out at once.
Which is like how to carry your money, how to carry your passports, how to,
Yeah.
just everything.
So it's a big learning trip. So really the key is going to be accepting the process
That's
and being
like,
okay with it.
yeah, part
And
of the
being okay with learning a few things the hard way, by experience, and being okay with it.
Well, and it's caused a little tension between you and me today.
Yeah, because you're trying to do the day, but you're also
Learning.
in school learning.
So you want to go somewhere and you want to enjoy it. So like we were at the winery today and we wanted to really enjoy it, but we had some trouble getting there. And so there's this tension built up with trying to get there. You get there and you're trying to relax so you can enjoy it, have some wine, take some chocolate, figure out what you want to buy, enjoy the experience. And then when you leave, then you've got the new problem on top of you. Now what? Now we have it real scheduled out in the sense of we know what we want to do each day. It's not that there's no room for movement and different things to happen. It's just, and we're not tight. We just have a couple things we want to do each day, kind of leaving room for stuff, but that causes
This is your exit.
a Kadarim. Okay. It just causes, I don't know. It's just been an interesting day.
Yeah, there was some other stuff going on.
Yeah,
But, to get, to drive, an hour to the winery.
yeah.
Was it an hour or more?
I think it was about an hour.
And then we get there, and then Mr. Genius left the credit card.
Forgot the credit card.
And I didn't forget the credit card.
I know you didn't forget it. You
I-
just didn't switch it.
I hadn't, yeah, because we're trying to figure out how to carry, you know, valuables, credit card, cash, and in the process, you know, didn't get everything switched over and back again, and anyway,
so this is the gate at Kadarim, so it looks real utilitarian. It looks real, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks real military kind of thing. But it's nice you feel safe. There's like fence all the way around the top of this mountain, which is the whole thing is the kibbutz. So that's nice. But it's it's kind of like a little difficult. It's a little difficult to get used to in your stomach because things look so utilitarian here. You know, like the pole, the light poles, the telephone poles, the things like that, the gates, you know, and just the way they mark their side or their curbs and stuff is just very, it's very military, I think. I don't know any other way to describe it. So, and you have all these, everything is built out of, you know, rock and cement, and they don't paint anything like you think. You know, in Italy they paint and make it pretty, and there's none of that here. It's all looks like sand and dirt and rock, and so it's not beautiful in the sense of it's interesting, and one of the, like the new stuff, so not even new, I don't know when it was built, but anyway, but we got to go to not Safed, it's called what's it called now?
Sfat.
So Sfat, which is okay, I'm going this way. Sfat. Tzvat. Or SEDE. There we go. I'm gonna go right this time.
Good.
There you go. So we went there, and we were there's some pressure and stress we were feeling between us and everything. Right. I'm going. I always do this one wrong. Anyway, and we get there and we're walking up, we end up parking. There was a free parking spot, and we just parked and decided just to walk through this town. This was after we went and went to the Ramon Winery today, where they make wine out of pomegranates. The only one in the world that does this, supposedly. So anyway, I went to this town, and it happened to be right at the entranceway of this most beautiful part of the old city there in Sfat. And I guess it's the Kabbalah headquarters of the world. And in that, though we're not Kabbalists or by any means or anything like that, but it definitely had a different feel, because it was very more like hippie kind of thing, and they were very interested in bringing you along in the experience. So they wanted you to feel, you know, and so beautiful. So we got to go down into tunnels that basically showed where the old 500-year-old city was, you know, and so we went down, and I videoed it through there. It was really, really beautiful. But we got to the end, and there's this guy sitting in his sukkah who's waiting for people to come by so he can sing to them, and so he can tell them a story. And then there's ladies down there baking bread to give away, and to show people kind of what it looks like. Okay, so we're here, park. So anyway, we go down into the I don't know, the tunnels. They were so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful brick, and you know, built a long time ago. And then so this must have been a Kabbalah Jew, or I don't know. He was in this really beautiful little archway over some water.
It's like an alcove.
Alcove. That's a good. Yeah. So yeah. The sound was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was deep inside of a building. You had to go through a couple of rooms to get to this kind of back recessed alcove. It did have a stained glass window looking out,
right?
Or letting light in, I should say.
Yeah, and he just picked up some really cool
stone chamber
and
with arched ceilings, and
it's beautiful. I took pictures and I have video probably for you, but he played a song, he sang, and then it was so beautiful. And then he picked up his guitar and sang or told us a story, and And then we went down a little bit further, and the ladies were baking this rolls bread in this oven that was 500 years old, and it was basically a community hall for the Jews. After the Spanish Inquisition, a lot of Jews came from there to Safat, and ends up to be the Kabbalah capital of the world. But anyway, it was for Isaac. How did you feel about that? You really liked that today?
Yeah, I don't know if I could like verbalize it or do it justice while I'm holding this.
I'm listening.
Well, another reason I alluded to the fact that things, you know, there was other reasons why the day was hard, and aside from jet lag, there's also
And he's not sleeping.
Yeah, I'm probably averaging. But I've really been struggling since we got here with disappointment and things not being what I had hoped, and really not, you know, just being a lot of things that are kind of turning me off to the country. It's really dirty, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
So I've been really struggling with that, and you know, and part of me was hoping that I'd feel like I didn't expect the people to welcome us, like be like welcoming Ephraim back with open arms. I didn't expect that, but I was hoping that the land would, and that I would, you know, feel that and sense that, you know, that they'd be glad we were here. The land would be glad we were here, that is. And so I've been disappointed to feel somewhat kind of shut out in the things we've had, just little things, you know, that are difficult, or, you know, not just going real smoothly, kind of lends to that feel of being kind of somewhat shut out, or at least kind of held back at an arm's length from the land itself. And so today we were literally underground, in these underground tunnels and passageways, and then into these rooms that Rebekah was talking about. And so we were like, it was an immersion where we were like in it, and then it was a full sensory thing as well because of the sound. There was mikvahs, that, and one that was actually, you know, lit up underwater, and, you know, they're running living water, so it had water flowing into it. So there was the sound of the water echoing through all these old stone chambers, limestone. And then there was this, you know, stone oven with baking bread. Really, so you had the sensory, and the olfactory, you know, going on. So good. And it had just a touch of, you know, sweet and cinnamon in it. So that got that sense going. And then, you know, this gentleman, was playing his violin, you know, really beautiful stuff. And then telling stories, playing his guitar.
The violin that stood upright, and it was a different kind of violin.
Yeah, had that
very
Middle Eastern
sound.
You know, sound to it. And then he told a story that was very much, you know, getting at the heart of some things. So it was like, it was just an immersion for the senses. And so I finally felt that breakthrough of, you know, finally connecting and being like allowed in. And I feel like it took, you know, like the land wasn't going to just be easy, maybe, and it, you know, was going to require a little bit of, you know, pursual and a little bit of effort and stuff before that connection was going to happen. And
I've had a hard time connecting, because I mean, it's hard because we come from the Northwest, and it's beautiful. I mean, you've got, and it's clean. I mean, people don't poop on the side of the road and leave it there with toilet paper, and they don't throw their trash out. You get huge fines for that, and it's really odd in the north to see a stretch of road that's littered, or to see, you just don't see what you're seeing here. And I've had a real hard time
Yeah.
connecting, especially because for me, it's the beach. I was so looking forward to coming to the Galilee to spend time where Yahshua was, and to walk around the lake. And it's just it was awful. It was
awful.
It stunk, and it
should totally have been just condemned, closed. Like no public should be allowed in a place that
I was
filthy.
so disappointed. And it's
really
not
sad.
We're not saying that it's like that all the way around, because we haven't been all the way around. But in the north, I think we're in enough part of it to know that, you're shut out of Capernaum unless you obey the religious things that they want you to do. And it's all a religious site anyway. The trails on the one side of it is just littered with poop, and stuff, and just garbage, and all the way down to the water and in the water. You can't
in the water
step.
It's floating.
Yeah, you can't step anywhere without seeing trash.
Yeah. And even the Mediterranean
was that way. Was awful.
There was just litter and plastic bags floating in the surf. It wasn't as bad.
Quite as bad, but even up on the arch, up near the aqueduct.
Don't ever see.
Up near the aqueduct. When I went back to take video of the of me by the aqueduct and talk about the day, you just look down and it's like cigarette butts and diapers, and I just, maybe not huge in the Mediterranean. Maybe there wasn't near the aqueduct like big piles of stuff, but there was just so much little stuff that it almost became like the sand. It's almost like you're walking on a garbage dump. It was just, so you take these glorious pictures and you see the arches and you see the aqueduct, but you look down and it's filthy. So it doesn't, it's not as glorious as the pictures make it.
Yeah.
I think is, you take a picture of Tiberius, with the lights, and it's so pretty, and oh no, you get there and
it's good from, from a distance.
From a distance, it's okay.
Get back so you can't actually see the water's edge. And you're okay.
Isaac tried to talk to the park ranger about it, and she basically just shoved him off and said, "It's we do the best we can." Yeah, right. All I want to do right now is come over here and with thousands of people and clean this place up. It's a mess, and not only just like Derek was saying today, not just the litter and the garbage, but spiritually, the haze. We were talking about the haze because it looks like there's smog. It could be dust. That's what Derek thinks.
Lost our lights.
Oh, the haze, because when we flew in and we looked out of the airplane over Tel Aviv and stuff, we saw the haze, but the haze had a color. It was like kind of pinky. It looked like smog. We've seen smog before, and that's what it looked like. So even up in the north, though, in the Galilee, there's, like Derek keeps saying, the sky isn't blue. It's like pale blue, and there's this kind of haze everywhere. And why is there the haze? And he thinks it could be dust. It could be a mixture of dust and smog. I don't know. There was a mill, a factory that was right next to Caesarea, the national park, and it loomed up above everything, spewing out this steam, smoke. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of sad to see. Anyway, so we have moments of way, that's way cool, and moments of, oh my, are you kidding me? And so we're processing a lot, and really, and then just trying to take care of ourselves as well as to get sleep, to eat, to what. I know you're hungry, so we got to go here and be done with this video, but and to feel safe, not get hit in the car, and there's just a lot, and I don't know. I think Papa's sad, and I think he's mad. Yeah, at this point, this doesn't feel like home. Not to me. I don't know about you, but it doesn't feel like home to me yet.
Probably what we're struggling with is trying to process that.
Yeah.
Come to terms with it, which is what we came to do, and I think we were just, hoped it would be
easy.
Hoped it would be easy. Hoped it would be straightforward, but it's not.
Yeah. We got into a little space today where there was tall pine trees and stuff. There was several different forests that we saw, but I don't know. It just, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard when,
Sad.
Papa promised that we're going to inherit the land and he's going to give it back to us, but then we look at it and
We're like,
I'm feeling like I don't really want it.
I don't know if I want it.
That's kind of a weird feeling to try to process.
Yeah. So if Papa says go, then you go anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful weather here and everything, and it rained today. A little downpour, probably about 1 minute worth of downpour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So we'll talk again. We'll see what goes on tomorrow. But this was our time in the Galilee, which I thought we would really, that would be the place where we would, be most attracted to. Out of this whole trip, I thought that's, where my heart was going to be. But so far, I just can't feel Yahshua here. I don't know what it is. I just can't. I mean, the one Shabbat morning when you and I hiked up this little ridge here, and that was the closest to feeling anything that was spiritual. I mean, it's so spiritually dead here. It's insane. They want their own spirituality. Nobody seems to, that I've talked to yet or seen. There's no revival, no conviction, it's like I want to have what I want. I want to be Kabbalist, I want to be Judaism, I want to be Muslim, I want to be whatever, I don't want to be anything. It's just kind of like trying to live in peace amongst all that, and I don't know what people want here. I don't think they want, I don't know what they want. I don't know, I don't get it. So North Idaho girl, signing out, and hubby signing out for today.